guys, what's going on? Ash here, coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. I'm joined by Skratch AK47. Skratch, what's up, man? It's been a minute. How you doing?
Yo, doing pretty good, man. Life's good, can't complain.
Yeah.
So, doing pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, dude, life is good, man. I mean, I'm doing pretty well. We got, an update coming up, and we have a free legendary right now in the game. Today, we're going to talk about the only rares that we use in the end game. But before that, give me your quick take on Ultimate Death Knight and Blessings and Awakenings. What do you think of all that stuff? I'm just curious.
Ultimate Death Knight, I feel like, yeah, he's great. Great addition to the game. It's not going to change my end game account. It's not going to change probably your end game account either.
Sometimes I think I lost something really important to me, and it turns out I already ate it.
All around, for new player, mid-game players looking to progress, and even in the end game, I'm sure I'm gonna have some fun with this champion. He's not gonna break the game, but he's a well-rounded champion. I feel like they've done a great job with it, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you there. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but like I wasn't sure because the community is like super divided on this champion. What about Awakening and Blessings? What do you think of those?
I feel like he's definitely looking awesome, right? Like I do have a bit of a concern with it, but it looks amazing to be able to do so many different combos. Like right now, this game is so unique because you have so many possibilities with the champions. You can do so many builds, so many crazy teams. Now, if you bring the Awakening on top of it, that's gonna double almost, because there's so many crazy passives in there and so much fun stuff happening. So I'm very positive about that. My main problem is I just hope that it's gonna be like Faction Wars, like Doom Tower, where they're gonna make money by making us to create new teams, and we're just gonna grind it with the energy. We have a limit of 6 keys. We can't purchase those things. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, and I'm hoping they're not gonna sell anything for the empowerment. Let it be RNG for everybody, kind of everybody equal. Same like the faction.
Skratch, I don't know, man. It's
I know, right?
After all.
I know,
but,
yeah.
I agree with you though. Like I love it. But I'm also like super worried about like, okay, so what do you got for us, player? It's too good to be true right now. So
I know,
see.
that's my thing as well,
We'll see.
I was never in this for the money, but it turns out that the money was an absolute necessity for me.
Anyway, let's get into the rares, man. These are the champions that we use in the end game. I want to be very clear here on that. It's not that we're going to not mention a lot of really great rare champions. For example, like Frozen Banshee, right? A champion that we both used a lot in the past. But this is about champions that we use the most now. And we're also going to have a collab on Skratch's channel talking about the epics, that we use right now the most as well. So stay tuned, or go ahead and check that out after this video. So Skratch, you're the guest, man. You go first. Who is your first choice?
So I'm going to start with a pretty obvious choice.
Okay.
Bellower. Now, my opinion, this rare champion is one of the most complete rare champions in the entire game. We have 3 AoE attacks from him. We have so many different debuffs. We have block active skills, which can help a tons in Faction Wars, Waves, Secret Rooms, depending where you're using him. So I'm using this champion in Faction Wars and Secret Rooms, okay? I'm not running him anywhere else crazy like dungeon teams or stuff like that. Decrease speed, AoE again, and decrease attack, decrease defense, even though is the lower version, is still very, very powerful. And I feel like all around is such an amazing champion to use. And end game, here I am 3 years later, still running rare champions because some of them, they're really, really amazing,
So where do you run this, dude? Do you basically like Doom Tower Secret Rooms and stuff like that? Do you run it as stun set or as a debuffer? Or?
Stun set, a bit of accuracy and damage as well. Now, he deals pretty good damage as well. I haven't really focused on getting the highest attack. I focused to get the right accuracy on him first. Then I went for the crit rate, give him a decent amount of speed, attack, and crit damage, what was left in terms of stats, So I feel like he's on a decent build.
I agree. A beast of a champion. Totally agree. I'm going to go. My first is going to be Soulbound Bowyer, a barbarian rare spirit affinity champion. I mean, she carries me in those secret rooms, Skratch. Just such a great control champion. Runner in Fearsome Presence, masteries with AoE on the A1. And if you need it, she has the full turn meter reduction on the A3. So sometimes if you're not autoing in there, like you just need to deplete 1 turn meter, take somebody out of the battle, you can go ahead and use that as well. Just a tremendous control champion. And you can build her to be like a DPS too, because she's actually has a 25% extra crit on every ability, ignores 75% of the target's defense. Not a bad kit. I mean, this is a really good kit for a rare. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I have 2 endgame accounts. I have 2 built on each one of them.
Wow. Okay. So you maybe you should put her on your list, bro. Wow. The number 1 fan right here.
She's very solid, man. And I like some of these rare champions. We have that annoying mission, right? Use a rare champion in Faction Wars.
Yeah,
beat a stage with it. And these champions fit in perfectly. Bellower, I am using a Soulbound on my faction war team as well, actually.
I'm just looking at some of these like best teams on Secret Room 9, and it's just like some of them have like it must be your type of comps here. They have like 2 or 3 Soulbound. But look at this, 3 Soulbound Bowyers and 2 Warmaidens on this team.
Sure is not me.
Really, really the most used champion here by far. Anyway, who you got next here, Skratch?
So I have Renegade.
Okay.
Renegade, again, she is the budget Kymar, guys. If you don't have a Kymar, definitely make sure you are keeping a Renegade. Don't feed her because she is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm running her on the Fire Knight team.
Okay.
Basically, why she's so powerful is because of her A2S. While being triple hit, then we have decreased speed on that skill, which is so powerful for the Fire Knight. And decreasing the cooldown on kills for all allies by 2 turns, it just comes in perfectly. So the team that I'm running is with Seer, with Royal Guard. Everything comes in perfectly because she's going to come and reset right after Seer is taking a turn on the second wave. She's going to get to come in and wipe the rest, you know. I have her built on a shield set, built for damage actually, just to speed up a bit my run when we're getting at the boss, because she's not really hitting for extreme damage, but
yeah,
every little helps in the end game, you know, when you're trying to speed up your runs.
You're right, and you know what? On that point that you made about Fire Knight, I'm using Kymar currently on my Fire Knight team. Maybe I should swap out for Renegade for the triple hitter. Maybe I can get that shield down a little bit faster. So good call there.
That's why I have it. That's why I have her as well instead of Kymar actually.
Okay, good point there. Let me go ahead and go next. I'm gonna go with probably the fastest explanation that I'll have here on any of these champions in Fellhound. He's just a beast of a campaign farmer. Do you run him as your campaign farmer?
No, I'm running Ethos because he does it like a second longer, and most of the times, so when I'm doing my dailies, because we have the campaign dailies, you know, I'm doing Brutal, but when I'm farming for champions, for champion training events and stuff like that, I'm always doing on Nightmare, just because I'm getting slightly more XP, preserving a bit the energy, you know, to use it better in dungeons.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, I still use Fellhound, 12-3 brutal, and he gets the job done in about 5 or 6 seconds or so. So definitely just a beast. Fast animations on that A1. And like, you know, overall, I don't use him in Fire Knight, but a 2-turn reflect damage is definitely useful and unique as well. So Fellhound, who you got next?
I have Warmaiden, because we were talking about those sort of teams, you know?
Yeah.
I'm actually using... she's actually my defense down in Faction Wars. AoE defense down.
Okay.
Then I'm using her for secret rooms. I think for multiple secret rooms. I can't even remember for how many. But I have her built on a stun set. I know she's not the ideal champion because she doesn't have a lot of AoEs. But we have some very, very crazy secret rooms in the game. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a thumbnail recently from you beating the hardest endgame content in the game, and that was a secret room, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Indeed, yes.
So you know how they are. You gotta stun everybody, if not they're gonna one-shot you. So I have all my team...
That's like the only strategy. That's the only way to beat them. Yeah.
Exactly. So I have all my team in stun sets, and Warmaiden is one of them. Built for damage, stun set, accuracy, you know, just to land that defense down to help the entire team.
You never learn, do you, Jay?
Yeah, still the most reliable, decreased defense rare in the game. So totally agree with you there.
100%.
Okay, I'll go with a little dwarf whose name is, I think that people sleep on Kurzad Deepheart, Skratch. Like, this is a champion who I run in a stun set for the same reasons that you just outlined. He has 2 AoEs, both are on a 3-turn cooldown. He can be a debuffer with decreased defense. He brings the big version of increased accuracy. I mean, this guy's a stud, is he not? Am I wrong on this guy? Like, I think like I looked at a couple tier lists in preparation for this video, and like nobody has him even anywhere sniffing the top 10 rares in the game. And it's like, dude, I don't have a tier list out there, but if I did, he'd be in it, man.
Thank you.
He's pretty powerful, man.
Yeah.
He's pretty powerful because you're getting that decreased defense, you're getting the increased accuracy, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And he's getting more turn meter with the other AoE. I feel like he's definitely a solid champion, and he was the very first champion in the game to have AoE increased accuracy buff, you know, so he's definitely a pretty solid one, actually.
Absolutely. Okay, so who you got next?
Apothecary, the legendary in disguise. Now, again, I'm using him for secret rooms only, Apothecary.
Okay.
So I'm not really using him anywhere else because we don't really have any spots where...
Yeah,
when we're in the end game. He was great for progression.
I was going to say, I hate to admit it, but I don't use Apothecary anymore.
You got to be kidding me.
I love you, Apothecary. Don't hate on me, but I don't use him anymore. So where do you use him? Secret rooms?
Secret rooms, yeah. But all around, he's an awesome champion.
Yes,
the heal that he has on the A2. So a lot of people tend to don't be aware of it. Heals a target ally by 35%. This heal can be critical. So if you have full crit rate on him, this heal is always gonna be critical, giving you a crazy heal, you know? So this is actually a pretty nice skill. I feel like it's very, very unique. I might be wrong on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Let us know in the comments down below. And the 10-meter boost, the increased speed, is pretty nice to have in Faction Wars on Secret Room, sorry, when needed, you know, so he's nice.
Yeah, he's got the defense in dungeons to help me out a lot, especially like in progression. He's fast, 106 base speed. Totally agree with you. Very, very good kit. And also on the, here's a random question for you that I've never really, I found people answering both ways on like Reddit, right? The heal can be critical. There's some people out there, my understanding is it's not, but there's some people out there that say that crit damage can also increase the crit on the heal. Can you debunk that for us officially, or do you not know?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Unfortunately, I cannot. That's actually a good question.
Okay.
I've heard it as well before, but I've never actually tested it myself.
We will find out.
I will definitely do it because I do have a future video in preparation with a lot of sort of things like this that they gotta be debunked, you know. So this is gonna go on my list actually.
I like that, and I will, if I find out, guys, that definitively on that, I'll let you know in the pinned comment of the video as well. All right, so next up I have, dude, one of the starting champions, believe it or not. Good old, why am I in Sacred Order? Not Aethel, I love you, Aethel. Actually, Elhain, right? And I'm gonna sound like a repeating record here, but that AoE potential, right? In a stun set with Fearsome Presence, you get the AoE on the A2, the AoE on the A3, and she's just like a really solid damage dealer. So anytime I need some control in a stun with Fearsome Presence, I'll run Elhain, or I can just run her with, if I want to pay the gems, I can switch it over to Savage and just get some DPS from her as well. Fast, 107 base speed like all the other starters. Decent aura to use in secret rooms because a lot of rares don't have like any aura or anything useful. So all battles 15% is not bad to have. So Elhain surprisingly is on my over all the other starters is on my list.
Yeah, she's actually my starter champion. I started the game with her.
Oh yeah?
And yeah, I'm using her. I'm using most of the starter champions. Aethel is the one that usually gets left out. But the rest, they're usually used all the time in my secret rooms and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Aethel though. Just saying. Just saying. I don't use her, but I'm just saying.
I do as well.
Triple hitter with a big version of weekend guaranteed on the A1 is insane, right? Anyway, I digress. Who do you have? What do you have? One more? Two more? One more?
I have one more actually, and it's Gnarlhorn, something like that. You know, from.
Yeah, I think I know. I say Gnarlhorn. How do you say it?
I'm putting the G. I know. I shouldn't pronounce the G because everybody told me that before. You don't pronounce the G. The G is silent, but it's a capital G in front of it. I can't skip it, you know? That's kind of like how I'm saying it, man. Like, it's a capital G there. I just can't skip it.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So, Gnarlhorn here. Why do you like this dude? I actually use this guy a lot, too. I was going to have him on my list, but I saw him on your list, so...
He's actually pretty solid, man. For a rare champion, having AoE provoke, 100% chance to land it on a 3-turn freaking cooldown with increased defense on himself, and then having another skill on a 3-turn cooldown that places unkillable on himself. I feel like he's very, very powerful as a champion, and is definitely one of the best rare champions in the game, in my opinion. As a CC especially, we're not gonna run him on a stun set, but having him on a different set that could decrease the cooldown of his skills or anything like that is absolutely amazing, or a regeneration, immortal sets to keep him alive if you're getting tons of damage on him. I feel like he's definitely very, very awesome, and I think I have him on a regen if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, I love that, and yeah, totally agree. Him and Executioner might be the last two rares that I built for Secret Rooms, and I have to say both of them, incredibly impressed with. Both of them could have been on my list as well. But I have to end here with the most obvious choice, right? I mean, how could I not include her? Coldheart, right? The best, in my opinion, the best rare in the game. Although I think that Bellower personally is in the conversation as well, for all the points that you mentioned. But either way, this Heartseeker is really, I mean, like, I feel like I've spoken about Coldheart on the channel here a million times, but this is a legendary ability. It's like beyond legendary. It's just like one of the better abilities out there for single target damage with a turn meter 100% on a 4-turn. Are you kidding me? What else is there to say about Coldheart? I mean, 4-time hitter on the A1, sure. They don't make champions like that anymore. Certainly not rares, you know?
She's the most used rare champion in the end game.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I can guarantee you that I'm gonna take the biggest whales and krakens in the entire game, take 1 million of them and ask them, are you using Coldheart? And probably, except one person who doesn't know the game, everybody else will answer yes. That's how strong she is.
Absolutely. So any other rares that we didn't mention, Skratch, before we let you go, that you actually use that you just didn't have on the list for whatever reason? They come to mind?
Painkeeper.
Okay.
I forgot about her, so I'm using her in my clan boss team with Manitor. I'm running a Barrier comp, so Painkeeper, she's definitely on my daily uses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And mine, I mentioned him, but the only other champion that I use, daily pretty much is Executioner. Really big fan of this guy. He's got the stun, he's got decreased speed, he's got decreased turn meter, he's got AoE, and increased defense. I've run him in a stun set as well. So that is all the rares that we use most in the endgame and Raid Shadow Legends. Perfect time to go ahead and check out Skratch's YouTube channel where we can talk about the epics that we use the most in the endgame. Thank you guys so much for watching. Skratch, thanks for joining me, man. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Peace.
All right, guys, take it easy. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.